Good evening. So it's been a while. I hope everyone is well and been enjoying this heat wave that we've been having in the UK. Personally, I can't really stand it when it gets too hot. I can't think straight. I got a difficult enough time as it is thinking straight and existing without the added factor of having this weather, which, I don't know, if you're used to it, it's fine, but for me, I can't stand it. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a while. I thought I better make a video. Just been busy, work, family, building on the house, and yeah, I have been a naughty stacker, really. Very, very naughty. And as you can see here, you can see there's some bits missing. So what I wanted to do really is I wanted to make a video really just talking about what I've been doing the last couple of months in terms of precious metal stacking, gold and silver. And I have committed the heinous sin that no stacker shall ever commit. I have sold some gold and I have sold some silver. I think I talked about selling silver in the last video I did, but I kind of said I'm never going to sell my gold, I'm never going to sell it, and it's the thing I always bang on about. You know, it's not that it's difficult to explain. It's not that I needed the money. I did need the money. I had the money. I didn't want to take cash out. And I was just looking around at my money I had tied up in various assets. And I thought, you know what? These 2017 Brits that were, believe it or not, you know, I'm paying around 230, 240 for these 5 years ago. And when you're seeing them selling on eBay for 400 plus, you know, up to like 430, I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to have a piece of that, really. So there's more to this actually. This is quite an interesting. This I really don't want to sound like I'm preaching to people on how to sell their precious metals. Should you have to sell it, be in those circumstances, but there's a couple of very interesting things that I've realised. So I wanted to raise, you know, a couple of thousand just to pay off. Essentially, somebody did some building work for me, very, very good job, and they wanted some cash. Essentially, I thought I don't want to take this out of my bank. If I liquidate some of these assets and take the profits, then it's just, you know, basically I'm getting this work for free. And you could have said, well, you know, what's the difference between taking the money out of the bank and liquidating your gold, which is going to go up in value? I think it's that I like to have a certain amount of cash in the bank at all times. And the gold price was, you know, I had a wobble, you know, it dipped under 1700 the other day, started tanking towards that. I sold just before that. And I just thought, you know what, it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. And there's a part of me as well that wanted to test the market. I wanted to see if I go back into the market and, you know, can I be one of these people? Are there going to be many buyers? What's the situation going to be? So there's a moral to this story, and some people aren't going to like it or disagree with me a lot. The bottom line is that I put these on eBay, my first quarter ounce Brit, and it was all fine, and I sold it for $427 or something like that, and I wasn't happy with some of the bidders to start with. There's some, you know, I had a couple of looked like normal people bidding, and then I had the usual person with 2 feedback no real history. He's like winning the bid with like 5 hours to go, and I'm thinking, I'm not happy about this at all. I'm not happy about sending essentially something that's worth nearly £500 in the post to somebody, you know, hundreds of miles away that I don't know, and they're going to turn around as anything could happen and say didn't get it, cause me a load of pain. You know I can insure it. I know I can play for special delivery. And, you know, you're telling me, oh, you know, do this. It's just not really, when you just want to shift this stuff, when you just want some to liquidate and you want some cash quick, you just want to find the best price you can and get it done and dusted. Now, you're going to say, yeah, well, what you should have done is taken it down the gold dealer, shouldn't you? But there's no way I'm going to be getting over 400 quid a pop for Brits from a gold dealer now, I don't think. You know, I reckon I'd be lucky to be getting 350s. Really lucky. So, you know, it turned out that this person got outbid and I sold it to somebody with much better feedback and it was all right. And I did it twice and I just thought, oh, do you know what? I'm just not happy about just putting something which is like, it's ridiculous. You know, there's people doing this all the time, all over the world. It's called a shop and a business, you know. Obviously, bullion dealers are putting gold coins in the post and sending them to people. You know, they're doing it. They're doing it for 1 ounce coins, £1,500, thousands of dollars worth in the post arriving. There's just something about the customer to customer side of selling on eBay, putting these lovely little things that, you know, we've taken us ages to save up and acquire for most of us, and just sort of hoping that at the other end it's all okay. And what's worse is eBay hold on to the fees, so the person's paid and then you've got to wait weeks to have the money released, even though I've got a perfect history and feedback that it's all okay. I mean, it's like, it's so in the buyer's favour, it's off the scale. I mean, they could have said any number of things. They could have got it and gone, oh look, you know, somebody could have put a mark on it and they got it and gone, look, you haven't sold this as described, and you know, it's not really this, blah blah blah, even though you put pictures up. I don't know, it's just a warning to you. So I'm gonna stop rambling about there's what it made me realise is a couple of things. Number one, there's not a chance in hell I would be happy about sending 1 ounce gold coins through the post. And just, I mean, I know that sounds, you're probably gonna think I'm crazy. I just would not be happy about doing it. I think this is the limit, a 1/4 ounce, a sovereign, a 1/4 ounce gold coin, you know. That's my limit. And even that is really upsetting for me. I'm worrying what's gonna happen. I'm worrying about the whole process and the bit, and I can see totally why people go down the coin dealer now. And they just go, look, give me some money for this, I want done, let's go, you know. And they're gonna take a haircut for that. So we have got like a little issue there. The kind of good news about it is that it made me realise actually that the small gold, so I've sold a couple of pieces, raised some money, paid some bills, it all worked as it should. So that's good news. That's all. Let's be happy about that. So I'm going to have to think now. Well, do you know what's ironic is that once I've got the money, the first thing I want to do is like, because the gold price then dropped, is like looking around going, oh, that's not a bad price. So I've just sold a load of gold that I did really well on 5 years ago, gone up in price, everything's wonderful. And now I'm so stupid that I want to immediately reinvest it in gold that I'm going to pay even more for. What is going on, you know? So that took a lot of self-control, not just to start spending that money again. What I did do is I treated myself to, so I sold some gold, I sold some silver, and I'm not going to talk about silver. I sold about 20 ounces of silver, and I thought what I am going to do with some of these profits is just buy a couple of really small bits of gold, you know, some bars, which I'll come on to. And that is what I realised when I realised that actually, what have I been picking up? I kind of, you know, I've been, the 1 ounce bar collection, I just, you know, I have a thing about 1 ounce bars, I really like them, just picking them up from various places. We've got the Royal Mint, we've got the Umicor, we've got the Ingot, we've got the IGR stuff. I've been a bit harsh on the IGR 1 gram bars in the past, but they are good. So I have picked up, fair to say, some quite nice little 1 gram bars, you know, and just to keep myself kind of interested in ticking over and sort of get over the pain of letting go of relatively large bits of gold that you've done well on invested in. I think it's quite hard to hang on to something for so long and not sell, you know. I think you should underestimate how a lot of people struggle just to save, you know, a couple of quid every week, let alone hold on to something that they've spent hundreds on for years and not capitulate and feel the need to sell it when the price has fluctuated, you know. So I probably will regret it, you know, in 10 years' time when these quarter ounces are worth double again, and, you know, I'll be like kicking myself. But I suppose, you know, it's all very well, it's no good in 10 years' time. I wanted the money now, I've done it. And it was also good to see people would actually buy it. But I think what I've realised is that what I realised essentially is that with all these small bars, and this is some old bars, so I like collecting 1 ounce bars, just to show that I do still love packs and packs of 1 gram bars, right? Is that what's great about these small bars is that obviously if you do sell them, it's just like so much less risk, because you're essentially, if you're putting something in the post that's worth 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds, you know, if it does go missing, if there is a problem, you know, it's not great, but I can live with it. You start losing something that's £500 at a time, or have a problem, that's going to be quite upsetting, you know. I'm not at all saying that you're going to let somebody swindle you out of, you know, 1 gram gold bar, but, you know, and then saying it didn't arrive when it did. But you get my point, you know. Obviously, the risk is less, and obviously the amount of money you get back is less. So, but what I love about these 1 gram bars, or anything up to kind of like, you know, 5 grams really, which is still, well, you know, I would say 2.5 gram. I'm not going to contradict myself. Well, 5 gram is still quite a small bar. Is that you just don't have to worry so much, and they're very liquid. Everyone wants them. Everyone knows what the make is. Everyone is happy with it, you know. There's no problems. So I think I've changed my strategy a bit, and I'm prepared, in a nutshell, where this is all going. I think I've realised that if I am somebody that is going to want to liquidate some of my gold later on in life, and I'm going to be doing it via sort of, you know, Gumtree or eBay. I don't know if you have Gumtree in other parts of the world. Facebook, things like that. That I'm much happier sending small bits of gold to random people hundreds or thousands of miles away than I am sending large chunks of gold, unless I really know that person and that individual, and it's, you know, which I probably am not in most cases, you know. So yeah, the other thing I picked, the only coin I've picked up in the last 3 months was this 2022 1/10, and that had me thinking as well, because I was kind of inspired to buy this after selling the quarters, because this may be, in my mind, the best overall size gold coin to stack, just because it's so it's got a good amount of, obviously decent amount of gold. It's small. It's not going to cost a lot to post and insure if you do that. I hate to say it, does go missing and we have a disaster, you can probably live with it, you know, in the end. But, you know, like I say, living with 500, a half ounce or an ounce going missing is going to really hurt. So I think these are good. I think they're a good size. They're collectible, lots of designs. It's a decent enough size to stack. It's nice and clean. It's obvious, you know, everyone knows what 1/10 means and is. In the, you know, we need 10 to get an ounce, you know. People are always on the hunt for them, you know. And so it's not so small that it's not worth stacking, and it's not too big to worry about liquidating. I mean, this is all probably obvious stuff. that you have thought about, but it's just my kind of take on it. And I mean, probably, like I say, the 5 gram bars are, you know, that sort of way as well. You know, that's the upper end, isn't it? Really, a 5 gram bar. It's what I feel at the moment. You know, getting towards that 1/4 ounce coin size. So yeah, that's where we are with that really. So just 1 gram bars really, still buying those, trickling along. You know, whenever I feel that kind of need to buy some precious metals, we just go for the 1 gram bar now, or you know, I get a 2 gram, 2.5 gram, and or 1/10 of an ounce. It doesn't mean I won't ever buy a 1/4 ounce again. It's just, and I don't care about the premium really, because everywhere I see the premium, I'm getting it back, unless of course I have to liquidate it to a gold dealer, and then I'm not. So essentially, I'm changing my strategy to take into account that I want a percentage of my portfolio that I can liquidate via, you know, people buying anonymously, people I don't know, and I don't have to worry too much. Now, it's a funny old thing really, because if the gold price does go through the moon and we get to this 2,500, 3,000, what's going to be ironic is me talking about, you know, 3 grams is affordable and all that, is actually, we're already looking at, I'm looking around, it's already 170 to 180 pounds for a 1/10 gold coin, UK bullion sites. It's not going to be long, it's going to be over it's been over 200, but do you see where I'm going? It's going to be, and I'm going to be going, well, actually, I'm worried about sending a 1/10 ounce gold coin through the post in 10 years, 5 years time. Well, let's hope I am. And then we're going to be looking at the 1 grams going, well, 1 gram now, you know, whatever it is, you know, £50 a gram or whatever, £100 a gram in 5 years, you know, there we go. So it's all relative really. So that's that. And then silver, like I said, sold some Brits, only been selling Brits and Eagles. And I've, you know, I am quite upset actually about some of the purchases I've made in the last couple of years. Just to show you an example. Just, I think, you know, I had these Royal Mint, United States Mint Eagles, quite a nice coin, you know, very nice, all well and good. You know, is anyone, nice proofs, very, very nice, everyone's happy, except no bugger is going to pay right now anywhere near what I paid for these. And that doesn't mean they're not going to, it just means that it's the silver prices, and I think the whole numismatic sort of collector side of the silver, I think a lot of people who may have bought in the last couple of years are going to be feeling it if they've overindulged, because, you know, I've got thousands and thousands tied up in this type of thing, and I know the silver price has dropped, but this adage that, yes, well, you got a numismatic piece and it will hold up when the spot price drops because it's a collectible item. Don't talk bollocks. That is what I hear. I'm sorry to say, I see it on forums. I mean, unless you've got something truly inspiring that's a really, really special piece, and you've got the collection, like the collection. Let's face it, let's talk about Queen's Beasts. Everyone knows the Queen's Beasts are probably one of the best sets that the Royal Mint have brought out Collections. The Tudor Beasts, all that, it's just nothing, it's not even on the same radar as those. It's clear to see. I'm sorry for anybody who's collecting those. I know they make some nice coins, but the Queen's Beast is the one, and when she pops her clogs, God forbid, they'll probably become even more sought after. The Tudor Beast is clearly an attempt by the Royal Mint to jump on the Queen's. They just thought probably, what we'll do is we'll bang out another set of beasts and stuff, and just kind of like, we'll just keep milking it, and the silly old buggers will keep spending their money until the cows come home. But and I think some people have, and I think there are probably a few nice coins in those sets, but they're not holding up. I'm looking on all these sites. I can't see the prices that people paid a year or 2 years ago for these silver proofs and gold proofs. They're not holding up. Unless I'm crazy or somebody knows something. Some sets are, yeah. The super high end stuff, yes. If you lucked out and you did get all the Queen's Beasts, and you've got the set, I think you've done well. But I just feel the churn on the Royal Mint stuff, and generally a lot of these mints, is off the bloody scale. And it's just, to me, just a marketing machine. It's just a marketing machine. And this, sort of going back to these Eagles, I mean, these are nice coins. Don't get me wrong, I do like them. I just think I paid way too much for them. And that was nothing to do with the silver price at the time. That's to do with the fact that they were touted as something more than they are. And I felt I didn't do enough research. They probably will be okay, and I'll do okay. Maybe I'll have to wait 20 years, Trouble is, I don't want to wait 20 years. It's all too late by then. Obviously, some of it will give our kids and all that. But sorry, I'm going off on one. I just want people to be aware that it is a marketing machine, the Royal Mint especially, and I don't believe the quality is there in a lot of these new sets from what I'm seeing. And I don't believe they really protect you on the downside when the spot price drops if you need to sell. I think a Queen's Beast gold, now if I've got a Queen's Beast gold quarter ounce whatever, there's no way, they are rock solid. That is a good collection. There's, I'm not just trying to bang on about it because I happen to own it, but I'm just saying that, that is worthy in holding up. But some of this other stuff is just junk. So I would think really carefully before you jump in if you're new to this stuff and you're not sure. And every time I feel like that, every time I get tempted with a set, I just get over it by buying some bullion, and I just sort of use my allowance that I'm going to spend on stacking on that, and it's all done. And I'm happy as Larry when it arrives. And yeah, you might miss out on that odd one that goes to the moon, but I don't think there's anything around at the moment that's that great. So I'm going to pack this away and round up. So really, what else have I been doing? So I've been doing everything that you shouldn't do really, that I've said don't do, which is like selling my gold and silver, buying shit, yeah, that's it, buying tat with my money, like my tat. I got back into fishing a lot. I've been buying some fishing equipment. I think you could, bought a new phone. I think, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just, it probably coincided with the selling of some gold, kind of like a release of years of kind of living with a shit 5-year-old phone that's knackered, selling all your things to buy gold, and then finding that when you want to sort of have a nice phone or go fishing, I've got nothing that works and no kit left. You only live once, I've realised, so only too hard on yourselves to pressure yourselves too much to constantly, relentlessly put every penny you own into this stuff. So yeah, it's a shame really. Doesn't look right. I mean, I literally want to go out now and just buy to have my little setback of Brits. Yeah, I don't know what to do really. So there we go. What else is happening in the world? I mean, I'm trading at the moment. I did lose some money. eToro absolutely murdered me. Murdered me. I probably lost about £300. I've managed to claw back about 150 of it, in just dabbling around, got small positions opening. That was in gold, actually. I lost that money. That was when Russia were banned trading gold, and I opened a large position thinking that the gold price would go up because of that lack of supply from Russia, and it did for a bit briefly, and then it just plummeted. and I got absolutely rinsed. So basically, the market does what it wants, and you can't stop it. So gold's nearly touching 1800. We got up to about 1795 last night, late in the Asian market, I think, and silver was back over 20, hovering around a bit sideways, looking a bit bullish. We've got interest rates going up again. I don't know if you live in the UK. We're getting smashed to fucking bits with the interest rates going up. I think, looking around, the US midterm elections are coming up. I think they've got to be careful. They're saying that they can't do many more rate rises because it's going to upset voters. So they reckon the Fed's got one more in the tank, like one more beast, maybe 3/4 of a basis point, maybe 1%, if they want to sort of make a point. And then that's it. And they're even saying by next year, they're going to be reducing rates and printing money again. That's what a lot of people are forecasting in sort of top economists that I'm listening to, which is ironic, really. And then that will, really, the dollar is very strong at the moment, relatively. And that's probably, it's amazing that gold is holding up. When you think about these interest rate rises, and the strength of the dollar, that gold is pretty rock solid around 1800-ish. That is good. I know people want to do more, but you take a step back and think that just shows you, it's sort of like it's like an elastic band. I feel like this force is waiting to be unleashed, the gold price. It's like if a dollar price can just weaken consistently for a couple of weeks downwards, and they run out of putting rates up, you will see gold move up, and I think it will go bloody moon. I really do think it's going to be off the scale, because the cryptos, I think we worked out, so it's kind of up and down, but it's just washing out a lot of the old shitty scam coins. People are, I think the penny's dropping that Bitcoin isn't gold when you've lost over 67% of your value in like a week, and it's just not a hedge against inflation. I do think there's something in it in the long term. I think it probably will go to 500,000 of Bitcoin, if you can sit on it. It has no utility. Call it a Ponzi scheme, call it what you bloody want. The market decides, and I think if there is a chance that it comes down under 10k, I would be picking a bit up, because you should diversify. I think it's foolish to have everything in one basket. And I'm talking for a long time, and I don't think many people will even listen to the end of my videos. But so I hope you found any of this useful, exciting, and revelation. So the lesson is, if you think you're going to have to sell it later, think about what size you're buying now and who your target market's going to be. It's been talked about a lot, but after having first-hand experience, I'm not happy about doing that again. I think what I will, what I would, if the gold price went through the roof, let's just say it went to, I don't know, £5,000 an ounce. Then at that point, ounces that I bought 5 years ago, obviously, let's say I paid £1,000 an ounce, that I probably wouldn't be so precious about going to a dealer, because I've done so well on it that it's going to be okay if I can have the cash there and then. Do you see what I mean? I'll probably be near a spot anyway if you're selling a large amount. But I think the small stuff, if you're just sort of like ducking and diving, then I think it's much easier to liquidate. Obviously, that's the other thing. People buying small gold, you're getting 20 people, 30 people bidding on silver coins and 1 gram bars sometimes. I'm getting less than half a dozen people on some of the bidding on a 1/4 ounce Brit. Do you see the difference there? Whether they like my listing or what, I don't know what it was, but we're talking, a significant ratio in people out there who are interested in punting on it, because let's face it, it's not a big deal for them if they don't get it's the same for them in reverse. They spend 70 quid on a 1 gram bar, and wasn't work out. It's not the end of the world to them, is it? They spend 500 and they can't afford it. They're in deep shit. So it kind of goes both ways. It's all relative. The people that are going to win this are the people who are winning are probably like the people with a bit they've got more means to be able to absorb the highs and the lows and hang on to it and mop up. It's definitely a buyer's market, I think, at the moment, and they're the winners, and that's fair play to them, you know. And there's no shame in selling your stuff. Don't ever feel ashamed about letting go of your gold at the cost of, you know, not feeding yourself or having things. I think that's, some people are just fanatical. These YouTube videos I'm seeing, some people, you know, never selling ever, ever, ever. I think, you know, it's foolish to not take some profits at some point, I feel, to reinvest. I suppose the only downside of me selling these is that my cost averaging, you know, of what I bought is ruined that a little bit. But anyway, there we go. I hope you're well, and let me know what you think, any comments or questions, and bye for now.